Well, I'm sorry, baby. Oh, shit. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's good, y'all? What's happening? It's still morning time for me, technically, right? Yeah, it's only 10:44, but I appreciate y'all joining me on different time zones. Rocking out with your boy, Midwest and East Coast and all that. Shemaine, you know, I'm just in here chilling. I'm doing my thing, doing my thug thistle, as the kids would say. It might be an old school saying now. I don't think thug thistle is a new school thing. I think that's an old school thing. But anyways, I'm in here doing my thug thistle. Can you guys all see the prompt? I know on YouTube you can. On what is this? TikTok. On TikTok, feeling great. On TikTok, can you guys see the prompt? Is anything obstructed? All right. That's good. Want to make sure we all good. I've been trying really hard to get the prompts, to be centered and all that stuff. How about when I do like this? Is it still good when I do like this? This is when it changes usually. What's up, Chris? Okay, cool. Um I like onions. Come up and answer the prompt. I like onions since you're so I don't know why you guys say stuff that is, like this is shocking. No, I didn't get suspended. Move it back. Move it back where? Yeah, I know, but when I don't know. When everybody comes up, it's gonna get moved anyway. But we'll see. Anyways, welcome. You don't even know my take. How do you think why how is it an idiotic take and you don't even know my take? Isn't that amazing that you haven't even heard my take, but it's already an idiotic take in your mind? That's crazy. I haven't given you one take. But you don't that but why but you don't know the why. Why shouldn't men be masculine? So how is that an idiotic take? You just saying just off the rip is idiotic? That's crazy. It's weird. You haven't heard the why. That's the point. But you can come up, brother. I would one follower, kind of sus, but you follow enough people. Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Oh man. Let's see how idiotic it is. Black Power. That's a strong stance. Strong name there. I like that. What's up, Black Power?
Hey, what's good, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great, brother.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to, I just saw the prompt, so I just wanted to, get the answer, and I guess. Let's see. So men shouldn't be masculine. Don't really have like too big of a stance on that per se. One thing I just know is that masculinity and femininity like differ across like time and place and region, right?
Yep.
And so we know that in certain countries right now, what I'm doing right now could be seen as feminine, and then vice versa, right? For instance, one might say that it's feminine to be kind of soft spoken, submissive, right? When I hear cats say that, I'm like, I mean, in some cases, like that's like the European femininity, right? And we could see that. I guess maybe that could be like one negative thing per se when it comes to femininity is how, at least the European version, where you are submissive to whatever patriarchal force is at play. And so I look at Africa then, right? Especially like pre-colonization. I knew that it was feminine per se for a woman to serve in the military. But in today's standards, we're like, I don't know about that. And so I don't know. Like I go back. One thing I don't like is just the toxic masculinity. I don't like patriarchal violence or dominance, right? And I think that's there's many negative aspects about masculinity. Is how when it's pushed, to the deep side of the spectrum, we see mass genocides and mass violence. We even see it in the home when it comes to masculinity. So I think that maybe everything in moderation per se, and I think that masculinity can be okay, and we can redefine what it means to be masculine, right? Like for instance, a lot of people think that if a man has like purple nails, you're feminine. I'm like, well, maybe yes and no, but what are other aspects that they're doing in their life? For instance, they could be really protecting their woman or something like that. They could be wearing a dress for all we know.
But I got a question for you. So I have a line of questions up here. So let's see if we can work through it real quick. Has masculinity made the world better?
I'm gonna say not really.
Okay.
I don't think that there's something.
Hello everyone, hi.
So masculinity hasn't made the world better. Okay. Name one positive way masculinity has benefited you.
I mean, it's unfortunate, right? That masculinity has benefited me.
How?
I just think that just comes like male privilege, right? I just think that
how has it
is coming into play.
How has it benefited you?
What was that?
How has masculinity benefited you?
Oh, like specific examples. Okay. Well, I've known that I've gotten certain jobs over other folks, due to masculinity, right? There's whether it be like security roles that I've done to where I've gotten a promotion over another person, or other jobs per se that is seen as more masculine that a woman unfortunately has missed out on. And so I guess that's like one thing or one way that masculinity has benefited me.
Is that because you are just actually bigger and stronger than the person you were going up against?
I mean, she wasn't no stallion or nothing like that, or the women on the team weren't per se, but they weren't.
Were you better? Were you better? Do you think you were better suited for the job than she was?
No, she had more experience than me.
That's
the worst part. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. So you being a man benefited you.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that. But so it would be. So to me, it would be like, did you get picked because you are a man and they just assumed you were stronger than her and therefore, because it's security, I'm saying, and they assumed you were stronger than her? Like, I don't know if that's masculine. I don't think that has anything to do with masculinity. I think that has everything to do with the fact that you were a man. Like, you could have been I think you could have been like, not like, you don't have to be the most masculine man in that case. You just have to be a man, right? And you are going to get that job over a woman.
I mean, maybe like part of security is like deterring, right? Deterrence.
Yeah.
And so I think that like a masculine dude standing wherever his post is versus a woman, I think in more cases than not, unfortunately, a lot of people would feel a lot more nervous doing something they shouldn't be doing around a male guard versus a female guard, if that makes sense.
And yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's more rooted in biology, though, right?
Yes and no, but like I think that I don't know. I think when we look at women and we think of they're a bit weaker, that plays into femininity, right?
No, that plays into biology, because typically physically, I'm saying this is a physical thing. Women are, like, generally speaking, they're weaker than men. Generally, you know what I'm saying? Like, you take the average man, the average woman, the average man is stronger than the average woman. The vast majority of the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's times when that's not the case, but the majority, and I'm just talking about like brute strength. I ain't saying like in every single aspect and strength, like giving birth to children is something completely different. You know what I'm saying? But like fighting a person off, like, yeah, the average man would be better suited for that than the average woman. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, maybe, right? I look at that. I want to say, oh yeah, biology maybe has a role to play, but I don't know. I've seen some great feats in history, right? Like I know, for instance, a lot of Native American women were hunting big game, right? And we would scratch our heads at that because we think, men hunt and women gather. Come to find out that's not the case, right? And one would assume that, to really be a hunter, especially, way back when, you would need a lot of strength, a lot of speed, and a lot of aggression. And we can see that permeates across all genders, right? But yeah, trans women do exist too. Shout out. And I think strength looks different in many different cases. Like I know you go to the military right now, probably a lot of women that could really whoop my ass. They're probably 5 inches smaller than me. They may not have the muscle mass that I may have, but that doesn't mean necessarily that that I can do whatever physical thing that may be necessary.
It's not. I know. I think you're making this way harder than it needs to be. It's just a general, like, I'm just saying that doesn't sound like it had anything to do with you being masculine. It had it just had everything to do with you being a man and being more physically imposing than a woman. That's it. I'm guessing, you know what I'm saying? And the people who hired you were dumb because, like you said, you weren't, the other person was better suited for the job. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not ignoring that, but that's not, it hasn't, I don't think that's anything or much to do with you being masculine. You see what I'm saying? I think that's more to do with the fact that you're just big, that you're just a man. Like at that point, it's just like, I'm a man versus a woman, and people are stupid and ignorant. And we go, oh, well, judge the book by its cover.
I see. Okay.
You know what I mean?
I don't think I don't think they were just looking at a sheet of paper, right? Like, oh, this dude, this person is a man, this person is a woman. Let me just pick the man. Like that. Not like I was. It's a lot more visual than that. And so I think what you wear, how you stand, how you carry yourself portrays into masculinity and femininity. And I think that, especially in security, they kind of look for that. I've heard it been said. I've heard it been said, like, yeah, I don't really want her at this post. She a little too this, too that.
Thank you, Essence.
She don't really scare nobody. But this dude, this dude has the beard. You know what I'm saying? This dude kind of has that demeanor, that tough dude demeanor, and I want him here because I think that he would scare somebody away, type of thing. And so I don't know.
Do you have that demeanor?
I didn't, but I know other cats do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so that's what I mean. You didn't get hired because of masculinity. That's not why you got hired, because you're not even that masculine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I would have got hired over her. Like, I'm not like them. I'm not out there on some like, what's up, bro? Like, I ain't on that type of shit. But it's just
I'm cats that are, and I've seen
no,
it before.
I know.
Not just me. Like, I've seen other people pass up other people.
Wait, brother.
Just off of demeanor.
Wait, alone. but Black Power. This question said, name one positive way that masculinity has benefited you. And you mentioned that you got this job over a woman, and you think it was due to your masculinity, but I don't. I think it was just due to the fact that you were a man, which are different things. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, I don't want it. We're going way too far into this. I don't feel like it's really even that difficult to understand. You didn't get hired because you were more masculine than her necessarily. You just got hired because you were a man. Like, that's all it took. That was you could have been a more feminine presenting man. You probably were still going to get hired over her. That's what I mean. It didn't matter. It was just the fact that you were a man. That's not the same thing. So, like, here's what I'm saying. You could have looked like Lenny Kravitz. You could have pulled up like Lenny Kravitz. You probably were going to get the job over that woman, right?
Nah, I don't see too many security guards looking like Lenny Kravitz, dude.
I know, bro.
I don't see too many male security guards with extensions and colorful nails and lip gloss and lipstick, dude. I really don't. Like, most security guards that I see that are men are portrayed as masculine men.
I know, over the woman though, brother. Because even the most feminine presenting woman is a man is still more imposing than the, you know what I'm saying? Like the average woman, you know what I mean? Like just the average woman, like it doesn't matter. He's still a man at the end of the day. He's still a man. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're like, no matter what, you're still a man. There's this there's this biological thing going on with most people. Bigger, whatever, they assume stronger, they assume better, whatever. Like, that's what I think. That's all I'm saying. I just think that's the assumption.
Hey, I'm not saying Lenny's hair isn't real. Don't straw man me.
Oh, wait. We're not reading the comments. I'm talking to you. I ain't talking to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I just don't like people making the straw man.
They're gonna make people gonna comment, and the comments is gonna do what they're gonna do. But you and me having a conversation. But yeah, no, I'm just saying that. So I think that if you looked like 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying? Like, here's what I'm saying. The scenario you were describing, if it was you look like 50 Cent and there was a dude there that had more experience than you, but he looked like Lenny Kravitz, then I would be like, okay, that's because of your masculinity. You see what I'm saying? But because it's between a man and a woman, I think it's because of your sex or your gender or whatever you want to say.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
But I mean, can we agree though that that in a role like security, like looking masculine would probably be not suited. Like, employers would look for that a bit more. I think we would agree with that, right? Like, because in some regards it looks a bit more imposing. Unfortunately, right?
Yeah, because we have that's what I'm saying. Because 50 is more masculine, right? He has a more masculine look. So that is more imposing to us. Like, just that look, like the hat with the vest, with the long chain, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of that stuff. That's, oh my God, he's hard. He's from the streets. Don't mess with him. Now, Lenny could be a freaking 3rd-degree black belt for all we know. For all we know, I don't know, but he doesn't look like he's not imposing, but that's a man to a man. But Lenny to a woman, no matter what, almost no matter what, Lenny's going to be more physically imposing than a woman is going to be. That's what I'm saying. No matter what, no matter if she's wearing jeans, no matter, she could be dressed like 50 Cent. You see what I'm saying? If you put a woman, dress her like 50 Cent up against Lenny Kravitz, most people are still more concerned with Lenny Kravitz because he's a man, and that's because of biology, not because of anything social, not because of his shirt or his, like, none of that stuff. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Right.
I'm not gonna beat this horse too long. It's pretty dead. I'm gonna give you that.
Can you name one negative thing about? Can you name one negative thing about femininity?
Let's see. One negative thing about. Well, I mean, can you define femininity? Because I know it differs across time and space and region. So I don't know what kind of femininity we're talking about, right?
What does it mean to you? Most importantly.
What does femininity mean to me? Well, I mean, in one aspect, femininity could be seen as a soft, submissive, nurturing. I mean, I guess that's one definition, and I guess that could look different in many different places in time. But maybe one negative thing about that would be that maybe it teaches women, especially young women, that maybe they gotta know their place, or they gotta take like the back seat, if you will. And I don't think that, like, personally, and I know I'm a man saying this, I don't think that is too that's a good thing. I think that may cause dysfunction.
You said you don't think that causes dysfunction?
No, I think it could. I think it does.
What do you mean when women take the back seat?
Yeah, like I'm not like, yeah, when women have it, like not that they do, like they kind of have to. Well, again, like that's why I said maybe we should define femininity, but
I know I want you to define it though, because it's not. I'm asking you the question. I don't want to define it and then you answer the question based on my definition. I want you to define it and answer the question, and then let's see. Maybe I agree, maybe I don't. I don't know. I'm just curious. Like, I'm more interested in what you think about femininity than what I think about femininity.
Okay. I mean, well, the answer I gave, I'll just leave it how it is, right? And that's my beef with that, with feminism right there. I think that unfortunately allows for patriarchal dominance.
Feminism or femininity?
What was that?
You said feminism.
Pardon me, femininity.
Oh, okay.
I think it allows for patriarchal dominance to permeate throughout a society.
Why? I mean, how does that happen again? I missed that part. I don't get it. How does that correlate?
For patriarchal dominance to permeate through society?
Yeah, how does femininity perpetuate that?
Okay. Well, so when you are submissive to another person, to some degree, you would say that you lose power, right?
Are men but aren't men just as submissive, if not more?
Submissive to who and to what?
To anything. Men submit all the time. We invented submission. We invented the hierarchy. The patriarchy, which is a hierarchy, but we invented it. Like, men are very submissive.
Exactly, and there's no equality in hierarchy, right?
No.
Exactly. So if there's a patriarchy, right, that's been set up, then like we just said, then there's no room for any equality, right? And so, especially when it comes to the European femininity I'm talking about, like that is what is the difference between
European femininity and any other femininity? As if Europe is a monolith in and of itself. Like, there's not countries like Germany is different than Ireland, so they would have different versions of femininity too. But I don't understand. Same thing in Africa. But what do you mean? What's your idea of European femininity? What are you talking about?
The femininity that had to have the suffragette movement like take place, right? There was obviously a movement, the suffragette movement, where women, I guess you could say aggressively and maybe violently, kind of uprose and revolted against patriarchal dominance and sexism, right? So that right there is a sign that something was dysfunctional in society, where several women felt like they weren't heard. Several women felt like that their life was.
But that's feminism. But wait. But that's feminism again. That's not femininity. What is femininity to you? What is you're conflating femininity and feminism. They're not the same thing.
I'm saying the movement happened due to feminism, but I'm saying because a certain attribute of femininity was pushed upon them, like that's what caused the dysfunction.
What attribute of femininity? But see, here's what I'm saying, Black Power. If it was an actual thing, you're saying it was forced upon the women, whatever attribute it was. If it was forced upon them, then it's probably not feminine, because you don't have to force femininity on the women. Femininity are
push gender roles. Yes,
no. Hold on, wait.
Being a woman
hold on, wait. Listen to what I'm saying. Femininity are the attributes or characteristics that women are they embody them. That's what most women do, right? So it wouldn't be something that was forced onto them. It would be what they're already doing. You see what I mean? Like, so if they were rejecting it, then it wasn't feminine, because it would have to be the thing that they're doing for it to be feminine. You see what I'm saying? But what role are you talking about? Maybe I'm missing it. What do you mean? Be specific so I can know.
Okay, so like femininity, right? So like there's certain characteristics that women and girls like have that, right? That's what I'm saying. Femininity like lies upon, right? Certain attributes that make up a woman, right? Socially and otherwise. And so, and yeah, you could I guess you could say like it shouldn't be forced upon. Like if it is feminine, then there shouldn't be any force. There shouldn't be any dysfunction. But it's not the case, because I think we can all agree to some degree that most cats would think, oh, it's feminine for a woman to take care of the home, to wash the dishes, to maybe not work, things of that nature, right?
I think that is, but that's what I'm saying though. I think that is feminine. It doesn't mean that basically the reason why I say I think that's feminine is because I interpret that as women stepping up and doing the things that need to be done, which I associate with women, right? Like women taking on leadership roles and like, you know what I'm saying? And being like, hey, the dishes need to get done, so I'm gonna do them, right? Cooking, everybody got to eat, so I'm gonna cook. You know what I'm saying? Like the babies need clean underwear, we gonna wash them. Like that I look at it more like that. I don't look at it like the actual task in it of itself is feminine, but just the idea that if there's something that needs to be done, women will step up and do it the majority of the time. That's what I associate with femininity, especially if those things that need to be done are things that affect everybody else, right? Like, so women typically like I said, if it's like she could be full, she could not be hungry, but I need to eat, you need to eat, the babies need to eat. Guess what? The woman gonna step up and cook. You see what I'm saying? Like, where masculinity is like, well, I'm full, I'm good. Well, it's some food in there, some chicken in the refrigerator, but women gonna be like, oh, everybody hasn't eaten. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me chef something up for them. You see what I mean? Like, it's not the task. I don't care about the task. It's because the theme with women is, if there's a task that needs to be done, they're going to do it. Like, that's the theme that I get from women. And I think that's very feminine to me. I think, and that's why I want people to give me something that is negative about femininity, because I haven't really been able to identify many things that are negative about femininity, if anything, to be honest with you. So I'm looking for like a specific example of a negative attribute that we can attribute to femininity. That's what I'm looking for.
I would say a lack of autonomy in dress, right? I think like throughout history, we've seen whether throughout all races that like what a woman wears determines if she's feminine or not. And so I could say, okay, well, that's an attack on their autonomy. It's an attack on their freedom of expression. I mean, that's one negative.
But that's not. But they didn't do that though. Like how the women, I'm saying women didn't. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it would be the other way around. It would be like, okay, so femininity. I'm just making this up because I don't believe this, but femininity says that women are supposed to wear dresses. Women love wearing dresses. That's what every woman loves to do. Women just love wearing dresses. So now there's a bunch of women in dresses. That wearing dresses is feminine, right? Like, let's say in this argument, it wouldn't, once again, if somebody came in and said, y'all can't wear dresses, you know what I mean? Which that's what I'm getting from what you're saying. That has nothing to do with femininity. I'm
saying I've heard is lady like to do this, is lady like to do that, is lady like to do this, right? And so that right there is part of my problem, right?
You mean femininity is the act of telling people what's ladylike and what's not?
No, I'm not.
I'm so confused. I'm sorry. Help me out.
It's an example, my guy. Like,
okay.
That's just one example. I'm not going to pigeonhole femininity to being exactly some cat just walks in and says, "Hey, it's lady." Like no, there's more to femininity beyond that. And yeah, men did do that. Mm-hmm. And that's part of my problem, because it's been adopted, it's been co-opted, and we see it throughout society. Like and I know for a certain time, like women just couldn't like show some sort of skin, like upwards, like past the knee, if you will, right? And so it's unladylike to go against that. It's not ladylike to maybe burp or play in the mud or get dirty like boys can. You know what I'm saying?
So you're talking about like respectability, but
respectability politics, exactly.
Respectability politics.
I think we can agree that, like, unfortunately, feminism in some cases tied to respectability politics. Like, in order to be a feminine woman, you have to abide by these gender roles. I'm not saying I'm saying that's what it is.
I know, but what is the gender? Give me the gender role. That's what I'm asking for.
Oh, like a specific gender role?
Yeah, give me the gender role that women are abiding by. That is, so that we would consider it to be feminine, and it's a bad thing.
See, I mean, I guess one of them might be certain like household things that must be done. Like, for instance, right? I know for a certain point in time, like a woman going to work or whatever, like it was not seen as feminine. If not, it was outright banned, right? Like they had to stay in the house, right?
But women worked though. But women did work though. But women did work. You know what I'm saying? So not working isn't feminine because women did work, and they worked in the house too. But they worked outside. Like black women worked outside of the house. Poor white tea women worked out, or poor women that weren't considered white tea yet, like Irish women and German women, and basically the only women that were considered white tea, as far as I know, were French and English at the time, right? So there was a bunch of women that were working out of the house, working outside of the house. So I'm not understanding, like, so what? But that's what I mean. So, but in 2024, in 2024, give me something that you and I would think is feminine, right? But that is a negative. If you can, you don't have to answer it. But if you can't answer, you can just say, I don't have an answer for it. That's fine.
I think that in certain regions and certain times, like clothing and what a woman, like for the teen young laws, right? For example, in Louisiana, like black women just like weren't allowed to show parts of their hair, right? Like that was like that was specifically on them.
No, they didn't. They didn't do that though.
What do you mean they didn't do that?
They didn't. Women didn't come along and say you can't wear your hair this way. Men did that. You keep going back to stuff that men did to women and then saying that this is feminine.
It's imposed upon them and then they eventually adopt it. No, it doesn't matter what the exception point was. It's still adopted as, oh, this is now feminine.
But they didn't adopt it though. They rejected it.
I'm sure there's certain Muslim women that didn't want to maybe cover their hair at first when Islam was first introduced. But guess what? It's now been adopted, and now we see many Muslim women covering their hair. You know what I'm saying? Even though it wasn't a woman that said, "Hey, Allah said this," or I'll get like, no, it started with the man. You know what I'm saying? In some religious place. Say, hey, like women, y'all got to do this.
And how is that a negative? And how is covering your head a negative thing?
Because I know many women that leave Islam because they don't feel like they have autonomy over their body.
But you just said that these women accepted it. So because if they accept, they
had. Some people don't have no choice.
Then it's not feminine.
The tip of the sword, my brother. And they didn't have a choice, but now they're practicing it, right? That's what they had to do. Same thing with Christianity. Like before we came over here, a lot of us weren't practicing Christianity. And it was we were forced to do so by whip, right? That wasn't our choice. But guess what? What do we see today? You go to every black community, we see church here, church there. Sometimes we see a mosque here, mosque there.
I don't know, bro. I'm gonna bring CJ in here real quick. Maybe CJ could give us a better example. But CJ had an example of one negative thing that is considered feminine. Go ahead, CJ. What is a negative characteristic of femininity?
You see, when these women be catfishing, them wigs, weaves, and lashes, that I hate. That is negative.
Oh my God, CJ. CJ had me. CJ is freaking funny. You guys don't know that's CJ, by the way. CJ is so funny. Paige said she agreed with CJ. That's crazy. Where my mans go? Black Power, why you drop, brother? I wanted to get to the bottom of it. Oh well, we couldn't get there. We're 0 for 1. We're 0 for 1. Nah, CJ is a girl. CJ just came up here playing in our face. That's who she is. Who, CJ? What you talking about, Paige? I'm curious. I want to know. I'm trying to figure this out. So, yeah, so we're 0 for 1. We're 0 for 1 so far. I'm one of the good ones. Is Lenny masculine or feminine? Lenny would definitely be considered feminine. This is about as feminine as you can get, and not, you know, this is right there. It don't get, you know. Next is step is to wear a dress at this point for him. Yeah. I would rather dress like Lenny than dress like 50 Cent. Even though right now I'm dressed more like 50 Cent, but I would rather dress like Lenny than dress like 50 Cent. Once upon a time, I actually did dress like Lenny. I think I'm sliding back into dressing more like Lenny now. I go through different phases of clothes. So, but yeah, right now I've really been in the hats, which has been like fucking up my whole look. When you wear hats, you gotta like dress a certain way. It's weird. But yeah. Coach T, what? What was that, Coach T? Diabolical. What is going on? Dr. Julio, what's good, brother?
Not much. Has masculinity made the world better? Or name one positive way masculinity has benefited you. Name one negative thing about femininity. Don't know that I have anything negative to name about femininity per se, but I think masculinity, one positive way that it has benefited me is that we are able to live in a country that is protected militarily. The United States has one of the best militaries, has the best military on the planet. I think that's a positive thing about masculinity. I would say that.
Yeah, I would like, but Dr. Julio, you come off to me as a fairly intelligent man. And I would like for you to one time come up with a different argument than the military. Because the military, I've already swatted it down 1,000 times. I don't feel like doing it again. But the military is almost never a good example of anything.
Why is it not a good example? When you need a military to defend a nation, you need that. It's a necessity.
No, because then you have to. So let's pull at the string, right? So masculinity is the reason why we fight to begin with, right? I mean, it's also capitalism and, you know, all these other things. But let's just say in this particular instance, it's why do you need to fight? So there should be never a need to fight. You should always be able to work something out with your words, even as a nation. It doesn't matter. 2 people should be able to do it, up to 200 million people. It doesn't matter, right? We should always be able to work it out and broker some type of deal or whatever the case may be. But masculinity be having men in a chokehold, and we end up fighting and unaliving tens of millions of people. So I don't think that the military, especially in America, the biggest bully on the face of the planet, saying that this, like, our military specifically is a good thing is crazy. Like that, like of all the military, like you be better off saying like the Canadian military, or you know what I'm saying, I don't know, the Irish military, like whoever, right? Like name another company. Like the American military specifically is the worst military in the history of mankind. From my knowledge. Right. So I don't buy into that at all. I think that's pretty crazy. But yeah, let's use let's see. Oh, he dropped. Rose said, I'm gender fluid. I'm not gender fluid, actually. I'm not that evolved. When it comes to clothes, I definitely dress how I want to dress though. However I'm feeling. I got some fishnet shirts. I used to wear super skinny jeans and skinny pants. I'm pretty sure I had an outfit like this minus the shirt. But yeah, I never had a shirt like that. I never made enough money to buy a shirt like that. That shirt costs a lot of money. That's what I'm saying. I never had that. But I had some weird shit in my closet that I wore, and I loved it. My arms was out, my chesticles was out. You know what I'm saying? I never had a problem with that. I never been one to shy away from some edgy fashion. No, I never wore a skirt. I don't feel comfortable with the skirt stuff. Having that, my legs being open like that, I don't like that. But I done wore some shorts that'll make anybody uncomfortable. Short as hell. Public, I disagree about the U.S. military because we don't have a USA in any other country. I don't even know what that means, Mello. I don't know what that means. Yeah, kilts are cool. Also, like, traditional, like, Islamic garb or African garb in certain places, saris, things like that. I don't have a problem with it. Pixar, it didn't happen. Pixar, it didn't happen. Who is this? Hey, it's Amber. Hey, Amber, I just told a story. Hold on, wait. I got to bring Amber up here. Hold on. Amber is here. We got to bring Amber up here. I just told a story about it.
Hello.
What's up, Amber? I just told a story about you last week.
Shut up.
I swear to God. Everybody that was in here will tell you this. They'll tell you, look. So I told them this story. I go, hold on. Don't be. The story got to come out now.
We go so far back, y'all. Like, it's not even funny. Like,
this story funny. So remember when we first met? How old were we? 10, 11, somewhere around, maybe 12. Somewhere.
Like after 5th grade, so probably like
11.
No, it wasn't in elementary. It was like, no, it might have been.
Yeah, I think
maybe 10.
10, 11. That's what I'm saying. We was like 10, 11. Yeah. So I told him, I was like, oh man, I told him the story about how you broke my heart. So
oh my God.
So the story. So here go how the story goes. Here go how the story goes. I'm gonna tell it again in front of her so she could correct me if this.
I'm gonna validate it if it's true.
Yeah, let me know if this is how it happened. So me and Amber, we puppy loving it up. We doing our thing, and then I'm trying to come see her. I'm like, I'm gonna come see you, whatever. So I catch the bus, or I think I had to catch like 2 buses or whatever. I come to her house. The little kids in your neighborhood show me where you lived at, which I thought was funny. They like walked me to your window. It was like, she right here. And they was all hyped for us and stuff. Like, it was like Romeo and Juliet. And I'm like, oh, talking to you out the window. And you were like, I can't come down. I'm on punishment. I can't come outside. And I was like, all right, bet. So whatever. I just wanted to see you. So I leave. And then within like, I don't know, maybe like a week, something like that, come to find out you was dating Baby D. And I was like, what? I was like, what happened?
I don't think it was that close.
It was close.
It wasn't that a week. No, that had to be like that wasn't. No, I didn't date him until 8th grade, bro.
Nah, no. The people told me you were talking. You didn't tell me you were talking to him. They told me you were talking to him.
I swear to God, I didn't date him until 8th grade. So they lied, but I didn't. I put that on my 4 kids.
Okay.
You know how I feel about my kids.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, I didn't date Baby D until that was 8th grade because I remember I went to DeMille.
Mm-hmm.
I was at Hughes, and then we moved. So then I went to Jefferson, and then from Jefferson I went to DeMille, which is now like that other high school.
Yeah.
I went, and then I met a girl named Kim. You probably remember Kim, and she was dating Roger.
Oh yeah, I know Kim. Yeah. I know Kim. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was dating Roger, and I was dating him, but that wasn't until 8th grade, bro.
But y'all knew each other because y'all just knew each other.
Yeah, we grew up in the same neighborhood. He was the boy that everybody wanted to date because of his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, not till 8th grade.
Yep. See? Yeah. Whenever that happened, though, that's what I heard. And then, but you did whatever happened, you just whatever stopped talking to me. But I think it's because at that time, living on different sides of town was like
way different sides of town, right?
Living on 2 different sides of town, it was crazy.
Where are the kids, bro?
Yeah, it's okay. Somebody said I wasn't. Maybe I was older than 10 because I was catching the bus. I was catching the bus at 10 though.
Yeah, we was listening. The kids from the east side of Long Beach and the west side of Long Beach, we did what we had to do to see our friends. We catching buses, we riding
bikes,
skateboards, whatever.
We was everywhere. We was all over the town. Yes. We was going swimming at
Silverado Park.
We was at the park. Yep. We had different parks. We swimming. I'm gonna go to Kings and swim. They gonna come to Silverado.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh my gosh, so many memories. Look at us now, grown, married.
Look at us now. Who would have thought? I love that though. Yeah, I just thought it was funny. I saw you. I was like, hey, wait a minute, Amber in here. I just got done telling them.
I always pop in, bro, to show you love. Every time I see you on live, I pop in for a second and show you some love.
I appreciate it. I'm glad you showed up this time too. It was right on time. And I caught usually I don't see the comments. I saw your comment and everything. I was like, oh hell yeah, this about to be funny.
You always been different. You always was a different one out of that whole group that we ran with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always been a little quirky.
Been like genuine, always with you. Like you gonna tell it how it is. You don't care about what nobody else says. So
I appreciate that. Thanks for
tell the wife I said hi and the kids. I'm about to take my ass back to work.
Okay. Thanks for talking to me. All right, Amber.
No problem.
Yep.
Bye.
That's funny. You gotta love it. Yeah, no, we was catching the bus. Yeah, they was hating on your boy. I don't know. I just remember they told me that. I was like, why? Yeah, man. Yeah, my city. We've been turned for a long time. The city been popping for a long time. Y'all know what it is. A hater. I always have many haters, Adrian. Don't worry. Aaliyah says she Googled me. Who you Google? You Google Baby D. Aaliyah Google Baby D. That's crazy. What up, madam?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just want to comment on what just happened, right? And then I'm off it because I'm in the Bahamas. I just got here.
Okay.
But you see how your story and Amber's story was just completely different. And we hear so many dudes that have these villain origin stories about middle school and high school.
Hold on.
And their stories don't
How dare you? Our stories was wait. Our stories wasn't completely different. Only part that was different was I was told that she was talking to Baby D, but I didn't know. But she never told. We was little kids. It wasn't like she really went and like took the time to be like, let me explain it to you. Like she just stopped talking. She ghosted me pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was left on red.
Yeah, but it's 2 different years. Somebody probably told you that, and it wasn't the truth. Yeah, they probably heard she had a crush on him. But my point is, those be 40 high school origin stories that literally didn't even happen the way they think it happened, or they have no idea. Like you can't hear the other person's side of the story. But now they just hate women. Specifically, black men hating black women because of a story that don't even line up if we talk to the other person.
No, that's for real. Yeah, I never understood that. It was never no like animosity or nothing like that with me, but it was just like.
No, I don't think it was any animosity between you and Amber. It seems like y'all are good and you've never had no issue.
But yeah, no, we've been cool. Yeah.
There's so many dudes on here that come up here and talk about a high school or a middle school or an early college. We had somebody the other day talking about his freshman year in college, and that's like your villain origin story. And sure, it didn't even happen the way you're saying it happened.
It almost never does, though, when you think about it. Like, how could it? Because there's 2 people involved. So you always have your take, they have their take. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they always, we all are, you know, most of us are prone to this, but whatever your take is, that's the take that you gonna adhere to the most. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, this is what happened to me, and you don't ever look at it from their side of the story ever. But I was 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, fast forward, like I would never feel like that in my like even in my teenage years or 20s. I don't have any stories like that where I'm like, you know, where it was like I don't know why. I know everything. I could go every single time a girl. You said what?
Because you can recognize your part, and even if you didn't have a part, let's say that's exactly what happened. You can really say, okay, well, we lived on other sides of town. Baby D lived like right down the street from her. She was able to spend more time with them. So that's probably why she got with them. You can rationalize that in your head, but dudes cannot rationalize when they get their feelings hurt and they say, well, we're the ones that's emotional.
Yeah, we be super emotional. No, that I already know me. They're the most emotional, irrational, emotional, irrational beings.
That's it. I just wanted to point that out because we hear so many guys on here come up here talking about a story in high school, and it's like, sir, that's that's not even what happened for real. Have you ever actually sat and rationalized that story and really thought about what happened or what could have potentially happened? But no, they just hate women from here on out. It just makes no sense to me. I just wanted to point that out.
Facts. I got you. I appreciate it, but I don't like being thrown under the bus like that because it wasn't no.
No, but here's the thing. I wasn't throwing you under the bus. I was
like, you see,
you were rational. Like you didn't do that. That's what I was saying. Like you didn't do that, even though that's what most guys' stories are. You didn't do that. And
yeah.
I wasn't trying to throw you under the bus.
I know. I'm just playing with you.
That's not what I was saying.
I got you. Amiri, come back up, brother. Nah, I appreciate you, madam. Hey, have a good trip. Amiri, where you go, brother? Why you come up and drop? Don't do that. I don't want to mute you for the whole live. Come up, man. Don't be scared. He said he disagreed with this. Get it off your chest, bro. We love. I don't know why y'all be so afraid to come up. I'm gonna let, brother. I'm giving you your space to yap, your space to talk. Get it. Come on, brother. Baby D, my guy. Me and Baby D friends. Me and Baby D friends right now. I saw Baby D like in the summertime, not that long ago, at the homie baby shower. That's my guy. And his brother Roger, rest in peace, man. Them was my dudes. Me and Baby D kicked it tough for a cool little minute. That's my guy. I ain't got no hey, y'all don't even know. I've been telling y'all for the longest. Ain't no mystery in my history. I don't be I ain't got no reason. I ain't got no reason to like man, Mel, they don't even know. I ain't got no reason to play with y'all. I ain't got no reason to play with y'all. I've been this way my whole life. I've been this guy my whole life, for better or worse. Anyways, we back. Amiri can't come up. He said he at work. Okay, Amiri, tread lightly in the comments then, brother. You get to tapping too much, I'm gonna have to mute you for the live. You already know how I go. I don't like the agitators that don't want to come up. You come up, brother. I'll let you yap you can tap the whole time while you at work. Just come up, give us 10 minutes. That's all we need. Just come up. All we need is 10 minutes, brother. 10 minutes of playtime. That's it. Anyways, he said he came up on accident. Where's Militant Minds? Hold on, where'd he go? Millimeter Mind? What's his name, man? Something Minds. I invited him up too. What happened to that guy? Elemental Minds. Elite Minds. That's his name. Elite Minds. Where Elite Minds go? If y'all see Elite Minds, y'all could invite him up too. He has something to say. He was tapping. Come on up here, Mr. Elite Minds. Where you at, broski? Baby D. Baby D crazy. Man. Misnomer. Millimeter Mind. I couldn't think of his name. I'm sorry. Anyways. Let's see what we got up here. Claudette, what's good?
Public offender.
Yes, ma'am.
I subscribe to your channels not the first, but I've been watching you. And I greatly appreciate everything you do. I'm a little teary. Please excuse my voice.
Yeah.
My voice been like this since I lost my 15-year-old son.
Oh, wow. Okay. When did that happen?
In 2020.
Oh, okay.
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 However, for the life of me, I could never understand that why is so much vitriol towards us women. It's a plethora of different YouTube videos of men, and I'm not male based. I love men, especially black men. I'm a black woman. But my thing is, public, why so much hate? It's like it has been a spell put on these men. They say the most egregious debauchery, things about women, and it seems like to me they just won't accept accountability for nothing, even if it saves their lives. All we want to do as women is for men to be better. And you spoke on it in so many ways, shape, or form. And it's not for some strange reason. They call themselves intelligent and this and that, but they just can't seem to get it in their heads. We as women do take accountability, such as myself. But how you think you're going to win when you ain't even right within? How you gonna point the finger of a wrongdoer when you do wrong yourself? I mean, sir, it's okay to be wrong. Because I always say to myself, I leave room for error. And I stand to be corrected. Because when someone corrects, you grow. But as long as most of these men condone the behaviors of oneself, it will never be resolved.
That's facts. No, yeah, as long as men keep coddling other men and condoning the behavior, it ain't gonna get no better. That's for sure. 100%.
And my thing is, right, and my thing is, sir, like, when you trying to uplift one another, there's always names, pandering, simping, this and that. But we give grace to those that does us wrong. I ain't even gonna go further than that. They know what I'm talking about. It's never like if listen, you cannot correct someone that you don't even know and have this so-called selective outrage when it comes to women and never fix yourself. You are only accountable for yourself. That's all I gotta say. Thank you. And I will donate to your channel. Thank you. You are well appreciated.
Thank you, Claudette. I appreciate you.
You're welcome, baby.
All right. Man. Yeah. It be real. I think that's the thing that a lot of men that annoys me a lot of times in these conversations is how men really be thinking that like the little stupid stuff that y'all be saying is like not impactful or it's not hurting anybody or whatever the case may be, but it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just you just piling on top of all the other, you know what I mean? All the real stuff that women are going through. You know, like because there's like real material world stuff that's happening to women like every day. And then, you know, men that are, you know, seemingly on the level with, you know, on the same level as women and at these women, and they get online and then they start saying, you know what I mean? Like they just start saying stupid stuff like, oh, women got to be held accountable for this. And what, you know, and then we ask them, what do you want women to be held accountable for? And they don't have an answer. And it's like, well, it seems like it's not about accountability. You just want to punish women in some way, shape or form, you know. No, that's not it. Women need to be held accountable for having 2 baby daddies, for being a stripper. I mean, what you mean? What you talking about? How does that hurt you? I'm not understanding. Are you one of her baby daddies or something like that? Like, what you mean? What's going on, fam? Did she do it? Did you pay her $50 for a lap dance and she didn't give it to you? Like, why do you have such a problem with this stuff? So do I think we should be 100% feminine? I don't believe in femininity or masculinity, but I'm waiting on the attributes of femininity that are negative. I definitely think men should be feminine, without a doubt. I don't like people talk about balance between masculinity and femininity, but I don't see any balance. And when you say balance, I'm saying like good balances. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, you know, women are more creative and men are more rational or something like that. You know, something, I don't know, that could balance us out as a race of people or whatever the case may be as human beings. But I'm not seeing a balance. I'm seeing everything that's considered to be masculine. I'm like, what? Okay. Because I ask y'all, what is masculinity? I don't define it for you. I'm asking you, what is masculine? The things that I see that are masculine are the things that you guys think that the things that you got, like You guys say protect and preserve, or protect and produce, or one of those things. What y'all be saying? Protect and provide. Y'all be saying protect and provide, protect and provide, protect and provide. That is, I'm not saying I'm not saying that protection. I'm not talking about masculinity or femininity from an ideological not so much from an ideological standpoint, right? I'm really talking about it more from like a real world, like observable, truth, right? Something that most of us can agree. Like I always throw out there, if you were to say who's more nurturing, men or women, they would say women, right? So nurturing would be considered a feminine trait. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. Like that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'll be asking for. I'm saying, like, in the real world, how does masculinity actually play out? How does it help us? What up, Jay? How does it help us? How does it actually play out? That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about what you think men should be like, because men say we should be the most perfect creatures on the planet, but are we? Is the question. No. So I'm talking about the are, not the what, or the maybe, or whatever the case may be, right? I'm saying what we is and not what we could be. This is what we is. We is harmful. We is toxic. We is, you know what I mean? Like we is these things. Somebody asked earlier on the YouTube, they said, what's wrong with masculinity? What's right about it? Name it. Name the goodness in masculinity. Give me the characteristics of masculinity that you deem to be good that most men embody. Something that's typically found in men, that more men do it than women, something like that. Because if it's equal, it's not masculine. If men and women both do it almost equally, it's not masculine or feminine, right? Like I said, once again, I'll go back to nurturing. Women are by far more nurturing, so I would consider that to be a feminine trait. I'll give you a characteristic or a trait of masculinity: violence. And almost every characteristic that you can name that is supposed to be masculine, almost every single characteristic is if you looked at it in a vacuum, it's not good. I'm sorry, it's not good or bad. Look, Rose said strength. Strength could be good if you're really strong and you're not hyper violent, and you're using your strength to build stuff and to create things and to protect things, then great. I'm talking about physical strength, by the way, because any other strength, once again, I wouldn't consider it to be masculine. But physical strength, brute strength, cool. Brute strength in a vacuum isn't a good or a bad thing. It just is a thing. It just is a thing. How do you apply it, though? But let me ask you, since men are physically strong, right? More stronger than women, and we would consider that to be a masculine trait, which I do. Do most men use their physical strength for good or bad? When physical strength is used, is it used for good or bad the majority of the time? Let me pose it that way. Bad. So I can say strength is a bad thing by that, right? Because the majority of the time when our strength is used, it's bad. When is it good? What are you talking about? When is it good? The only time that I could think like a really good time is like us when we do hard labor. Right? And I'm talking about like digging ditches and stuff like that, which nowadays not even so much, but that's it. That's the only time I'll be like, yep, that's when we use our strength for good. Every other time, fighting, violence, don't need it. Well, what are we talking about here? Taking all the groceries inside the house on one trip? How does that benefit humanity? Like, you know what I mean? Let's ask Mello. I'm curious. Mello made an interesting comment right now. Let's ask him this question. Mello.
you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. So you said that the Industrial Revolution was based on strength? No, the opposite.
No, I mean starting off, it less relied on strength. The more technology got advanced.
I mean,
starting off, that was strength and ingenuity.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Then to industrialize is the complete opposite of physical strength. Once you industrialize something, which you're basically trying to create, you're trying to take humans out of the equation, right? So the Industrial Revolution actually led to a bunch of like things like cranes. When people used to have to climb up there and do that stuff themselves and scaffold and do all that stuff, then we had cranes. It was like, all right, cool. Now we have a crane. Now we have then they came up with jackhammers. I'm gonna mute you. You got a lot of background noise, Mello. You know, and then they invented jackhammers, and then they invented presses that press stuff for assembly lines and stuff like that. Like that took away what we would have to do before is you would have to go to like a metal, you know, like a blacksmith, and then they would have to forge that thing by hand. They would have to pound it out and do all the stuff and sculpt it or whatever by hand, right? And when it was industrialized, now you could just put it on a little thing, lift it up, get it, cut the edges, throw it in the pen. You know what I mean? So it removed the physical. So it's the opposite of what you're saying, by the way. That's all I wanted to say. It wasn't based on physical strength.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you look at it in that aspect, you're right. But I'm looking at it in the aspect of it started off with physical strength, and there's still several occupations which are based on, you know, physical strength, because you still got to lift stuff, you still got to tighten stuff up, and you got to be strong enough to actually do that.
I know I said that. I said that, Mello. I don't know if you heard me. I said that. I said I acknowledge that pretty much the only good thing I could think of when you talk about strength is to do some type of strenuous physical labor. That's the only thing I could point to that benefits like society. You know what I'm saying? Like because I mean, this is the time for the what about the oil riggers and stuff like that, right? Those dudes, it's time for them to get their shine. That's what I'm talking about. But that's it. But there's way more violence in the world than there are oil riggers.
Yeah, I agree there, but I think more of the violence isn't from brute strength. I think it's more or less from the technology of weapons now. More people use weapons than actually brute strength.
No, because abuse in the home, interpersonal violence, I think is still higher than any other form of violence, even more than war. It's not. I don't think it's as destructive necessarily, but it's just as high. I mean, it happens more often. Like more people are being abused in their home by a man right now across the world than there are people being unalived in a war right now. No doubt about it.
I mean, yeah, in that perspective, absolutely. Now, I've been sitting there thinking about how you put this in the prompt.
Mm-hmm.
The only part of femininity I would consider that's kind of negative would be being passive. I don't think being passive is positive.
Why not?
Because it omits a whole idea of you being able to just express yourself. People who are passive don't express themselves in any situation, and that's not good.
I think being passive saves women's lives. I think that's why they're passive a lot of times. I don't even know being passive would be an attribute I would attribute to women. But if you wanted to attribute that to women, it would definitely be the vast majority of the time, because if they weren't what do you expect a woman to do? Like if she's on a job that's controlled by a bunch of men, or she's in a home with a man, and you know what I'm saying, like she can't physically overpower him or whatever the case may be. Right. And I think a lot of times women are what we would consider to be passive because they're just like they want to de-escalate situations. Yeah, right, Aaliyah. Aaliyah said it. That's the best way to say it. Confusing being silenced with being passive. Exactly. Don't confuse silence with being passive. I'm not, Sierra, how am I scaring them off? I feel like what am I doing? I ain't even turning up on them. I ain't muting them. I'm letting them talk. Well, I don't know. I don't know what else I could do. The boys are scared of me. What do you want me to do? I've tried every way possible to keep the boys around, but yeah. I don't know what to do about it. On my P's and Q's. I'll be on my Zooms every day. Men are super passive, by the way. Men are so passive. Men are so passive. Very passive. Especially scary men. You scaring the bros. 90 kid. Let's see 90 kid. He said he's still here. They're not coming up. 90 kid, y'all not coming up. Y'all in the comments tapping. They in the comments tapping and they outside. The funniest thing about my lives to me is the frequency in which my lives are watched and consumed and screen recorded, and then people take them and make videos about my live, but they don't actually come up on the live. I'm like, why do you argue with me when I'm not there? Like, I'm here now. I've been live for an hour and 11 minutes. We've been up in here yapping and having a good time for an hour and 11 minutes. Y'all can come up. You can come up and talk to me right now. I don't bite. Y'all let these other men scare y'all, man. Don't let these other men scare y'all. Oh man. We've seen many and plenty survive in public lives. It's crazy. And I ain't even no threat. Thanks, Mont. Appreciate you, Mont. Thanks, man. All right. Hey, I don't know what to do. I thought, hey. DJ said they bite. Oh, that's a girl. Hold on, my bad. Yeah. DGT said they bite. Interesting. Too passive to come up. James said, I'm entertaining for the boys at work. I think I can be antagonistic. I try to antagonize. I've tried many tactics. So they don't have an argument. This is wild. It's like yesterday, but yesterday they actually came up. They tried hard yesterday. They was kicking and screaming yesterday. They were. They was a valiant effort. I would say a good 5 or 6 of them came up. Y'all push through to the office. I know they be gossiping about me. They have a whole Discord about me. I'm sorry. They have multiple Discords about me. James said we fans. I know, James. That's why it be all love on my end. I don't even be tripping. What's good, Wasabi?
Nothing much, man. Listen, I thought Amiri was supposed to be getting muted in these chats.
Hold on, what do he say? Because he been chatting.
He's the tappinist,
non-yappinist
in America. Yes, I thought he was at work. What kind of work do he do?
Where you could tap and not yap?
Right. What's his job?
I don't know.
He obviously don't use his hands for no strength that he be talking about, this masculine strength he got. He not using his hands or strength at all. He over here just using his thumbs.
Use your throat, man. No Diddy, man. We just use your voice.
Wait a minute. Pause.
Come up here and use your voice box, man. How you want me to say
Diddy.
it? No Diddy, man. Come
No
up here and
Diddy.
use your voice box.
No Diddy.
That's all I meant.
Okay. So he tried to say that you said that strength and masculinity are synonymous. And I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't say that.
Mm-hmm. I think
because those are not synonymous words.
Well, physical strength, yeah. I do think that most people would say that strength Like physical strength would be attributed to masculinity. No doubt about it.
Okay.
Right? Like brute strength, not like all forms, like mental strength, like none of that, but like brute strength, physical. Yeah, of course. That'd be something that we could say is masculine.
So you're saying that men are physically stronger?
Yeah, just men are physically stronger on average. And, yeah, I don't even, compared to the rest of the animal kingdom, we're weak, pound for pound, right? Like we know that. We ain't even, as a species, I'm saying we're weak. But between men and women, right? Like, yeah, men are the stronger of the species, whatever the case may be. So you could say strength, but what I was saying was like strength isn't a good or a bad thing. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's how it's like a tool. It's like a hammer isn't a good or a bad thing. It's a hammer. It's a tool. Strength is a tool. Hammers could be good, could be bad. I've seen people use hammers and assault people with them. And I've seen people use hammers to build stuff. Just depends on how you use it. You know what I mean? But when like I said before, when I talk about like nurturing, where is nurturing wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, how is nurturing in a vacuum a bad thing? It's not. It's never a bad thing. I've never seen it be a bad thing. People, oh, what if you over nurture? I don't even know what the fuck that means, right? So I ain't talking about that. I'm just saying nurturing, like everybody wants to be nurtured. Everybody wants to be nurtured.
Well, let me ask you this, because I want to be clear. So from my perspective, being physically strong does not equate to masculinity, but it is simply a biological male trait.
Yes.
So is a biological male trait the same as masculinity?
It's not. You're right. It's not.
Okay.
It's not. It would be more to your point exactly. You're right. Because I was saying that to old boy earlier. It would be more like going to the gym is masculine. You know what I'm saying? Like that, the actual act of work, you know what I'm saying? Like working out, lifting heavy weights is masculine, let's say. Right? Like that would be the thing, but not actually being strong. You're right. Not actually being stronger would be considered masculine. Yeah, I got what you're saying. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, he really tried to conflate it to make it seem like you was agreeing with his thought process. I'm just like,
no, yeah. Nah. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I was just saying like,
just ask him. He didn't know why I was really coming up here. He thought I was trying to clock you or something. I'm just like, hey, you're right. I should go up there because aren't you supposed to be quiet? But anyway, that's the only point I was trying to make. Thanks for letting me up.
No problem, Wasabi. No, I'm glad you said that though, because that is 100%. That's what it is. It's not actually just being strong, but I was just saying like men would on average we're stronger than women, but yeah, you're right. That wouldn't be masculine. That would just be, we're just more strong than women. Yeah. So it would be the act of like working out or whatever the case may be. Absolutely. You don't need to go to the gym, James. I don't go to the gym. I have damn near a gym in my house, but I don't go to the gym. You could work out. Also, you don't need weights to work out. No, masculinity isn't only for men, but masculinity are attributes that we typically attribute to men, right? Or characteristics or acts, right? We could say like opening up the door for people. You could say, I'm not saying this is, but opening up the door for people is a masculine, we could say, oh, that's masculine because men typically are the ones who do that because we're supposed to be the chivalrous ones or whatever the case may be, right? So you could say that, but it's like, this shit is stupid. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. It's all made up. It's really dumb at the end of the day. That's why I don't ascribe to any of this shit in reality. I'm like, this is stupid. This shit is like, it's too fragile for me to like, no, man, we need to be masculine. Oh, what? But the reason why these dudes get so upset at the idea of somebody saying, or especially a man saying men shouldn't be masculine is because their minds instantly go to femininity, right? Which is associated with women. And these men, they don't like women. They have a disdain for women, right? These men have a disdain for women. Period, point blank. They have a disdain for women. So they say, so as soon as they hear you're not supposed to be masculine, they go, what do you mean? I'm supposed to be feminine? So I'm supposed to be a woman? Oh, no, I can't do that. Because we hate them women. Like, or we sorry. for educational purposes. We have a disdain for women, right? That's what I'm saying. That's why they don't like that's why they don't like when you tell them that we don't need masculinity. Yeah, nothing is worse than the association with femininity, which is their association with women. As soon as you tell a man that he's acting like a woman or a B word or whatever he associates with women or H word or whatever, then, oh man, he want to fight. Oh no, you ain't gonna just be disrespecting me. But what if you didn't get offended by that because you didn't have a disdain for women? What if a man said that you were acting like a girl and you didn't get offended because you actually thought about it and was like, but what does it mean to act like a woman? What do you mean? Women don't act like that. What are you talking about? Right? That's how I'm able to do it for myself personally. Also, I just think it's stupid to begin with. I've seen that masculinity leads to abused toxicity. I don't know what you're trying to say. Very, very interesting. Yeah, the critical thinking is a tough one. I've been told I'm masculine because I drive semi trucks. Yeah, exactly. But you can say driving trucks is a masculine job because men are the ones who typically drive trucks. You see what I mean? Like that's what I'm like. That's all masculinity is at the end of the day. It's not like there's no need to be offended by it if it's something like that. Like if somebody did say, "Oh, I was masculine," a woman is masculine, or that makes her more masculine because she drives a truck. It's like, who cares? I know they're trying to shame you when they do that. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying that if you really think about it, it's like, yeah, I mean, but men actually do drive trucks. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. So if that's all you're saying, then yeah, cool. I'm masculine. Who cares? Get over it. Yeah, no, that would be masculine. That's what I'm saying. It would. If it's male dominated, it would be masculine. True that. It because women aren't allowed to, women aren't allowed to do it. Jordy said, I got called masculine for buying a house. I think that would be the opposite. That's one of those things where I would say, well, how does that make you masculine when more single women own homes than single men? Wouldn't it technically be feminine? Like, just understand what I'm doing. Like, I'm just flipping everything that they say that act, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm just flipping it on the strength of flipping it, but like you say buying a home is masculine for a woman to do. Okay, cool. Based on what? More single women own homes than single men. So wouldn't it technically be a feminine thing then? It's close, you know what I'm saying? But for argument's sake, since more women are doing it than men, then flip it, right? Like, what do you mean? Because what makes him? Because that's the thing that's supposed to make it masculine is that, oh, this is what men do, or whatever the case may be. Okay, but more women do it. So how the hell is it masculine? That's why when men say stuff like jealousy is a female trait and all of that stuff, and that's a woman thing or whatever, I'm like, seriously? Men aren't more jealous than women? Who's in jail? Who is in jail? Who is quicker to commit an act of violence over jealousy? A man or a woman? You know what I'm saying? Who's quicker to lash out because they're jealous? A man or a woman? Like God said he was jealous. Ain't that the men of all men? God said he was jealous. In the book, Cain and Abel was jealous. I'm sorry, Cain was jealous of Abel. Like, both lash out, bro. Stop. See how stupid that argument is? Well, nobody said that women don't lash out. I said, who is more likely to lash out? Who is more likely to commit the highest act of violence if and when they do lash out? Men. No, not both. And it's not both. It's not both. For it to be both, show me the numbers. Show me the numbers of what's it called? In the heat of passion crimes. Show me the studies on in the heat of passion crimes and see if it's 50-50, 60-40. Not even close. It's still not close. It's 80-20, 90-10. It's the same thing. What do you mean? Yeah, I don't think y'all actually know how violence works. If they're weaker, they could pick up a weapon. Could they not pick up a weapon? Physically weak. If they're physically weaker and they can go pick up a weapon just like men do. That's what men do that. A lot of times. They pick up pew-pews. If it's less damage, then it's less violent, bro. That's what listen to what you're saying. If there's less damage, y'all help James understand this. If the damage is less, then the act is less violent. That's usually how violence works, right? Generally speaking, I'm saying if you pew at somebody and you miss them, don't get me wrong. That act of violence is crazy. Don't get me wrong, right? But if a woman tries to beat up a man and there's minimal damage done to that man, you don't think that she understands that? You don't think that that's a part, what is, that's the whole thing. A woman slap a man in the face or whatever the case may be, you don't have to react as a man, right? Because what did that really do to you? There's no imminent threat there. You don't need to put her down or nothing like that. Like, you don't need to react to that. Okay. But if a man does that to a woman, look at Ray Rice. If a man does that to a woman, look at Ray Rice. Like, I don't understand how that, like, that's easy. That's easy to get. My children aren't more violent than I am. They don't have a higher propensity for violence than I do. Because they're kids. So my son knows he can punch me in my face. He knows that. He understands that. He knows he can do that. And it ain't like, what is he going to do? He's 8 years old. Right? He's done it before. But that's a low level of violence. My 8-year-old son punching me in my face, minimal violence. Minimal violence. Me punching my 8-year-old son in the face, maximum violence. High levels of violence. Crazy amount of violence. It's not that hard to get, bro. A woman could hit you 10 times with no mark. So what does that say about her hitting you? What does that say about her hitting you? Think about what you're saying. He's proving it. He's proving my point in real time. A woman could hit you 10 times and it not leave a mark. Okay, thanks. Well, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. That's the point. If an 80-pound dude tries to fight a 300-pound dude and the 300-pound dude hits him back, I'm going to look at the 300-pound dude like, what the hell are you doing? We got to mute James. James, you're doing too much tapping, bro. You already know how it goes. Too much tapping, not enough yapping, brother. Too much tapping, not enough yapping, James. Come up when you can, brother. You already know you already know the drill, man. We'll unmute you. Seeing big dude get flipped on a behind by a slim dude. They more agile. Yeah, absolutely. It could happen. Absolutely. I'm that dude. I've done it before. Trust me. I know. Interesting. A lot of tapping going on today. He said he at work. These dudes be liking us to believe they at work and they can't talk, but they be in the comments. If you're, how can you work and do this? I know you got earbuds. That's easier to do. Put the phone down, put your earbuds in, and yap. You got to do this. You got to sit there and read. You got to read and tap. There's no way you can work by reading and tapping at the same time. There's no way. I muted him. I muted James because I don't believe him. I don't believe there's any way possible that you could be at work tapping on your phone but not able to yap. That's crazy. Two Chihuahua face fools tried to start a fight on my flight yesterday, then went tattling on each other to the flight attendants for name calling. One's girlfriend put them both in their little Chihuahuas place. How do you say your name?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes. How do you say your name?
Hey, Chia.
Chia?
No, yeah, it's like saying yeah, but
okay.
Chia.
What's up, Chia?
Yeah, how you doing?
Good.
So real quick, there was a point. This is my first time ever doing this ever. So, excuse me if I come off a little nervous, but I'm a teacher and I have a student who beat up another student, a male student who beat up a girl student who had, I guess she's bisexual, right?
Yeah.
So now these are high school kids, right? I want to make that clear. This is an 8th grader and a 9th grader, and so his anger came from sitting around his male, elders, father, uncles and stuff, and them complaining about. They were complaining about the I guess the month of June being Men's Mental Health Month and having to share it with Pride Month. So they live in a trailer park, and he ended up beating the girl up when she identified as bi. And then his girlfriend, who happens to be the best friend of this young lady, said, "Yeah, I don't think anything's wrong with her identifying as bisexual." So when she turned around, he basically gave her like 3 goose eggs in the back of her head just for identifying as something, right? That he doesn't clearly understand has nothing to do with him. But, it was just the anger and the violence and how it was handled, inside of the school. Obviously, I'm not going to say what school I work at, but, the way it was handled was the young ladies, parents kept her home for the rest of the school year because of this. And he ended up showing up the next day. And I was just like, well, are we not going to suspend him or reprimand him in some way for this? Are we just going to allow him to just get away with, being violent just because of adult conversations that he happened to eavesdrop on and then wanted to turn it into something, so that he can have a conversation with his peers, and it was just like, wait a minute. So he seen me and, he said, "Hey, miss," and I looked at him like, the first thing I said was, "What are you doing here?" And everybody started laughing because it was just like, I'm asking the correct question.
Yeah.
Why are you in school today after the situation had taken place? And the majority of the principals, are men. So the way that they handled it was, we're going to mull it over, because he has, ADHD, ODD, and whatever else you want to place onto him, we can't do anything. Plus, it happened outside of school, so we can't do anything. So I just wanted to speak to the propensity that, young men have for being violent just by sitting around, you know, other men who have the same notions and who want to move in the same, you know, way. Unfortunately, you know, nothing ever came of it. There was no reprimand for it. I did my best to get the young lady out of the school so that she could go to another school so that she doesn't have to be around this young man. But it means absolutely nothing when they live in the same area.
Yeah.
And they take the same school bus, you know? So when some guys get up here and say that women are more, you know, violent and things of that nature, I would love to see it. I would love to see the stats. I would love to see, you know, all of these things, especially as someone who myself identifies, you know, as queer. And I'd be damned if somebody want to sit here and have an opinion about who and what I am, because I made sure to let the young man know, like, do you have a problem with me being queer? I'm your teacher. You know, and on top of that, he's also racist. So now we have to go on. Now we have to tack that on to the fact that, you know, being the only black teacher in the school, not the only black woman, not the the only black teacher. So I'm dealing with that. Plus, I'm dealing with you know, all of these kids being, you know, categorized as, you know, a 504 or 504 being, you know, they having behavioral issues. So if at any moment they get in trouble, they can't get suspended because the behavior can be attributed to
their
disability. You know, their disability in some way. So ADHD is a disability, ODD is a disability, you know what I mean? So it's frustrating. So I understand. I listen to you all the time. I don't say anything or whatever. I just be chilling. But yo, like, it's jacked up, man. It's jacked up.
That's sad too. I'm sorry to hear that for that student. That's terrible. My wife works in the school, and she tells me all types of stories about the kids or whatever she has to help and deal with or whatever, and that's crazy. Like, really crazy.
Yeah. I mean, let's just say he's 6 feet. So what, I'm like 5'2". He's 6 feet. The young lady, I think she's like 4'11".
Damn.
Right. So and he wrestles. You know, he does all of these things. You know what I mean? So it was just like, bro, like, why did you do that? And so the way that he explained it to the male, you know, faculty members was, it's not fair that men have to share a month for Men's Mental Health Month with Pride Month. That was his excuse.
So
his reasoning. I don't want to say excuse. That was his rationale behind doing.
He just randomly attacked her though?
Yeah, because they had always been friends. It was always cool, you know. Like, he would come up to me and say, "Hey, like, is she doing good in school?" And I'm like, "Are you?" Well, you know, like, they were friends. They live in the same area. And then his thing was, he felt that his girlfriend was possibly trying to, you know, turn her friend out. I mean, I'm sorry, he thought that this young lady was trying to turn out his girlfriend, you know, in a way. Wow. But she was just saying, like, no, like again, I want you to pay attention to the age group here. This is an 8th grader and a 9th grader. You understand what I'm saying? These are 2 8th graders and 1 9th grader. He's in 9th grade. And these are the conversations that are being had. We're not talking about video games. We're not talking about going to the mall and go shopping. We're not talking about, you know, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And, you know, all this. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about things that have absolutely no bearing on your youthful lifestyle as of right now. It should not have any bearing on how you maneuver in this world. But you see how your, you know, male elders are complaining about these things, sitting around at the campfire, drinking beer and stuff like that. This is not me just saying this. This is how he explained it to the male, you know, faculty member. You know, it was him saying, yeah, they were sitting around and we all, you know, they're always talking to me about how it's unfair that men don't have a space for themselves. And then all of these gays get a space and all of these things and such and such and such. And I said, oh, okay. So that's it. There's nothing else to do beyond that, you know? So.
Damn. That's cold. Yeah. That's a cold game right there. Damn, that's fucked up.
Show is, but that was all I wanted to say. I might come up later on.
Thanks, Chia. Appreciate you.
No problem. Peace.
All right. Damn, man. It's already happening young. The Dakota man got that boy young. Got that boy at a young age, huh? Done poisoned that boy at a young age. Done poisoned that boy at a young age. Damn. Nasty. Well, let me see. What time is it? I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to eat lunch. I think I'm going to end the live. I'm going to eat lunch. I'm going to come back with a new one. I'll come back with another prompt later, a little bit later, like 30 minutes or so. I feel like it has to happen. I gotta go to amusement park later. So, yeah, y'all come back later though. I'll be back in a minute. Just give me a second. All right, y'all.